200 feet down, off the coast of Alexandria, a diver wraps a strap around a block of stone the size of a car. It weighs 70 tons, and it has waited on this seabed for 700 years. It is a piece of a building the ancient world called a wonder, and for centuries no one alive knew what it truly looked like. Now, block by block, they are lifting it back into the light. And we can finally answer the question that outlived the empire that built it. What did the Lighthouse of Alexandria actually look like? It was one of the 7 wonders. It stood for 16 centuries, and then it vanished so completely that scholars argued about its very shape. Rewind 2,300 years. Alexandria is the richest young city on earth, founded by Alexander, ruled now by his general Ptolemy. But its harbour is a killer, a flat, low coast with no landmark, hidden reefs swallowing ships in the dark. So Ptolemy orders a fix on a scale no one has dared. A tower of pure light. One account puts the cost at 800 talents of silver, a king's ransom in stone. The architect was a man named Sostratus, and before the tower was finished, he would hide a secret in its stone. The work took around 12 years. When it was done, it rose more than 100 meters into the sky, one of the tallest structures in the ancient world, rivaled only by the Great Pyramid itself. Its shape was deliberate and strange, 3 tiers climbing toward heaven. A vast square base, an 8-sided middle, a round tower at the summit, and crowning all of it, a statue, though who it showed, we still can't agree. A god or the king himself? At the top burned a fire that never went out, hurled back out to sea by polished bronze. Sailors swore its light could be seen 50 kilometers away, and the legend went further, that the mirror could catch the sun and set enemy ships ablaze. That part we file under myth. The tower grew so famous it did something almost no building has ever done. It became a word. Pharos, the name of the island it stood on, is still the word for lighthouse in French, in Spanish, in Italian, in Greek. For 1,600 years, the fire guided ships home. But even a wonder can fall. In the 14th century, the earth moved. 2 great earthquakes, 20 years apart, tore the tower apart. When the traveller Ibn Battuta came to see it, he found a ruin he could barely step inside. And then it met a stranger fate than collapse. In 1477, a sultan raised a fortress out of its bones. The citadel of Qaitbay still stands on the lighthouse's foundation, built from its scattered stone. The rest slid into the sea, and there the greatest lighthouse ever built lay for 5 centuries as rubble on the harbour floor, a rumour with no picture. Until divers went looking. In the 1990s, archaeologists mapping the seabed began finding them. Enormous blocks, columns, sphinxes, a whole drowned city with the lighthouse as its greatest prize. Then, in 2025, a French-Egyptian team went further. They began lifting the giants out. 22 massive blocks, some 70, 80 tons, including a monumental doorway and an Egyptian pylon, each one raised, cleaned and scanned in exact digital detail. Because the goal was never only to recover the stone, it was to solve the puzzle. By 2026, researchers had begun mapping the thousands of scattered blocks and fitting them back together, virtually the largest jigsaw in archaeology. For the first time in 700 years, we can see the whole tower again. Not a guess, a digital reconstruction, built stone by scanned stone from its own remains. The wonder that vanished is being carried back into the light it was built to cast. And there is one last secret in the stone. The story goes that Sostratus was ordered to carve only the king's name on the tower. So he cut his own name into the marble beneath it and covered it in plaster bearing Ptolemy's. He was betting the plaster would crumble first, that one day the sea and the centuries would wash the king away and leave the builder's name underneath. If it's true, it may be the oldest gamble on immortality we know of. And standing over his rebuilt tower, 2,000 years on, you'd have to say he won.